We are back here with Ms. Fame, and we're going to do a little follow-up here. We're going to talk a little bit about structure and function, and actually optimization of structural features, because Ms. Fame does not need significant work of any kind, but like all professionals or anyone that's in front of the camera and just wants to look good, you want the best version of yourself. And I think for your particular situation, you're a chameleon of sorts. Sometimes things are changing, and you know, your needs change, so we have to consider, you know, everything that we do and how it's going to affect your work. So, what's been going on? How's it affecting your work? What's been on?
Well, you know, I was mentioning before we started filming, I turned 30 a few years ago, and I started noticing that because I am lean, that I started to look tired, and it was happening really in the mid-face, like under my eyes, and being able to work with an expert like Dr. Paul, being able to add the volume where I need it, or, you know, talking about injectables and then the stigma around it is really something I wanted to bring up. But the benefit of it is restored confidence, and also seeing the face that you pretty much have always had. It's just kind of adding like a glass of water to the skin in a way.
Well, people assume that injectables mean you have to look injected. And that's a dramatic misconception. Injectables shouldn't be changing features, they should be enhancing what you have, kind of like makeup. I mean, that's what it's doing. You know, you can't create something that's not there, and you're really just optimizing the facial structure. And I think for you, especially since you're in front of the camera and you're changing your look, sometimes quite commonly, enhancing these features are great. What I do to a 60-year-old, to a man, to a woman, to someone who's gender fluid, these are all things that are different, and ultimately you have to cater to exactly what the patient's needs are. And a lot of that has to do with just getting to know the person, their aesthetic, what they want. You know, we're not injecting substances, we're delivering an effect. And I think that's really where the art is. And as someone like yourself, who is an expert in makeup and transition in front of the camera, I think it works very well that we can do this.
I'm excited.
And it's not just about structure, it's also about skin quality. We're also going to be doing some stuff in terms of improving the quality of the skin, because after the age of 21, unfortunately, it's all downhill for all of us.
You have to work harder.
And I always say you want to try and get back to that day where you didn't have to wear makeup, as a man or as a woman. You want makeup to enhance your features, not to cover them.
That was the age of 12. Everything was downhill after 12. I'm not joking. That's when I started having skin issues. And I had cystic acne and oily skin, and as you know, my mother's always saying, your oils will be your benefit for the long run.
That's true.
And I can see that now. The one thing I've really noticed, and I'm a skin care junkie. I'm obsessed with doing anything possible to maintain the integrity of my skin. I travel every week. I'm working in an extreme way where I'm using face-up tapes and a pretty decent amount of makeup to transform myself into Miss Fame. But I also noticed, since we had just had our appointment in the last month, how I was able to use so much less foundation, because my structure was really like complementing my existing face. I really felt lifted. My forehead is so smooth and beautiful. Like I still have mobility, but I look like me with a lot of sleep.
2.0. 2.0. And again, we've been working together a short time now, and I think rejuvenation, any type of enhancement, it is a relationship that develops along the way. We change things, you discuss with me the needs, and it's basically two professionals trying to meet a common goal. Because what I do the first time doesn't mean we're going to do the exact same thing next time. And it's just about a relationship, whether it's working with someone who does hair or makeup or a trainer or a nutritionist. You know, the rules can change a little bit along the way, and finding that common goal is really important. I think for you, the cheek and the eye area, I've seen the biggest difference in terms of enhancement.
I just loved it. I mean, I was just at DragCon in Los Angeles, and
DragCon,
that was a big. I wore all of that red, all of that like really dramatic red and blonde. I love red and blonde combination. But my face was just, it felt so feminine in a way that I look good when I'm not wearing anything. I could walk out and I just feel like my face is structurally sound. And then when I'm working, I feel like the direction, it makes sense. You know, I prefer a more of a feminine beauty, and I don't feel offended by that as a man. I feel like it's okay to be beautiful and have some softness where you need it. I already have so much structure,
Yeah,
always
yeah.
had that. And also bringing symmetry, because I was always so much more dominant on my right, the way my mouth was moving, the way my brow was moving, that with Botox and filler, you can really create the balance.
Yeah,
into
that's
the
exactly
face.
what
It's
we
harmony.
did. And that's a lot of people's. A lot of times people don't. You're a lot more attuned than most people to themselves. A lot of people come in asking for something, not realizing that they sometimes need something else.
Right.
And what I try and do is say, I don't treat features, I treat faces. And a lot of times, a less self-monitored person, I can do things, and they're like, they're not even sure exactly what I did.
I just want to add one thing. We do have this idea in social media, and there's a bit of a cool factor and also a stigma around anything injectable into the face. And for me, it's been like I'm okay with who I am, and I like where I have gotten with my routine, but I want to be candid about this. I just want to add one thing. We do have this idea in social media, and there's a bit of a cool factor and also a stigma around anything injectable into the face. And for me, it's been like I'm okay with who I am, and I like where I have gotten with my routine, but which is really about keeping what I've already got in a nice way. And I'm okay with the aging process. I'm not going to lose it.
Yeah.
I really want to be able to just have some grace about it as I
Well,
move
listen,
forward.
you and I are both experts in trying to remove stigmas from things.
Exactly.
And making people feel comfortable about things.
Yeah.
And understandably, people often come into any topic with misconceptions, fears, all understandable. And I think part of the reason why we work so well together is because ultimately someone's comfort is about educating them properly so they can feel comfortable. And I think a lot of the stigmas used to come along with this type of stuff. It's almost a form of grooming now, so it's just about how we do things, not what we do.
Yeah, and everybody's doing something, whether they're talking about it
That's
or
right.
not.
No one rolls out of bed looking that good,
No,
right?
no.
All right,
This
guys.
is the 90s anymore.
All right, we're going to the next step. We'll see you soon.
Process, because I know there was a lot of questions out there, and also finding the right doctor. Like I found the best doctor to go to be able to have what I would like to achieve, which is really about keeping what I've already got in a nice way. And I'm okay with the aging process. I'm not going to lose it.
Yeah.
I really want to be able to just have some grace about it as I
Well,
move
listen,
forward.
you and I are both experts in trying to remove stigmas from things.
Exactly.
And making people feel comfortable about things.
Yeah.
And understandably, people often come into any topic with misconceptions, fears, all understandable. And I think part of the reason why we work so well together is because ultimately someone's comfort is about educating them properly so they can feel comfortable. And I think a lot of the stigmas used to come along with this type of stuff. It's almost a form of grooming now, so it's just about how we do things, not what we do.
Yeah, and everybody's doing something, whether they're talking about
That's
it or
right.
not.
No one rolls out of bed looking that good,
No,
right?
no.
All right,
This
guys.
is the 90s anymore.
All right, we're going to the next step. We'll see you soon.